The Shadow Domain Cleric is a really fun modded subclass for the Cleric that kind of has like a little flavour of the Warlock to it. We'll go over it. We're going to level by level, commentary on all the items you can need. So of course we start with the Cleric. Now this will give you domain spells, so these will be spells that are always prepared. Wisdom saving throw proficiency, Charisma saving throw proficiency, simple weapon, Morning Star, light armor, medium armor and shield proficiencies. When it comes to cantrips, we are going to take resistance, we're going to take guidance, we're going to take sacred flame. And that brings us to the Shadow Domain. You worship your deity in secret, clinging to shadows as you stalk those who dare to oppose your god. So we gain scimitar, short sword and longbow proficiencies. Umbral Assault, so weapon attacks deal additional 1 to 6 necrotic damage when lightly or heavily obscured, as well as Disguise Self and Hex as always prepared spells. For ability points, we're going to have 18 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 16 Constitution, 10 Intelligence, 16 Wisdom and 10 Charisma. Both proficiencies take whatever fits your roleplay, and the same for your expertise. Cleric level 2 brings our first level spell slots, as well as a Channel Divinity charge. We gain Turn Undead and Born into Darkness, so you can see through magical and non-magical darkness and cannot be blinded, as well as Shadow Bolt. This is a Channel Divinity again, fire a bolt of dark energy, possibly blinding a target for 2 turns. This is awesome. For spells here, we're going to take Guiding Bolt, Command, Cure Wounds, Inflict Wounds, and Healing Word. Cleric level 3 unlocks second level spells. We also gain Invisibility and Darkness as always prepared spells. And then for a spell here we are going to take the Spiritual Weapon, a nice bonus action summon. Cleric level 4 unlocks our first feat. Before that we gain one more cantrip, so we're going to take Toll the Dead. And then for ability improvement, you probably guessed it, but Wisdom from 16 to 18 as this is our spell casting modifier. And then for a spell here we are going to take Silence, an awesome way of nullifying enemy spellcasters. Cleric level 5 brings Destroy Undead as well as our third level spell slots. We also gain Hunger of Hadar, probably my favourite spell in the game, I love this to pieces, and Vampiric Touch as always prepared spells. For spells here we're going to take the Glyph of Warding alongside Spirit Guardians, and that brings us to Cleric level 6, one more Channel Divinity charge, and Unseen Strike. Quickly strike from the shadows, the caster must be obscured, this is a reactionary based attack. For a spell here we'll take Mass Healing Word, and that brings us to Cleric level 7 where we gain our 4th level spell slots. We also gain Greater Invisibility and Blight as always prepared spells, Blight being awesome because it's not a concentration based spell and it's a damage dealer. For a spell here we're going to take Guardian of Faith, another sort of summon almost. It can pump out some massive damage though. Cleric level 8 brings our second feat alongside improved Umbral Assault, so now we deal 5 to 12 necrotic damage when lightly or heavily obscured. And the Disciple of Shadows. Necrotic spells and attacks deal additional damage to your Wisdom modifier and ignore resistance. Which is perfect because now we're going to max our Wisdom out at 20. We gain one more spell here, so we're going to take Banishment. And that brings us to Cleric level 9 where we unlock our 5th level spell slots. This also gives us Destructive Wave, which is an awesome ability that is always prepared, and Cloud Kill, another awesome ability that's always prepared. For spells here we're going to take Mass Cure Wounds alongside Flame Strike. And that brings us to Cleric level 10 where we gain Divine Intervention. This is a once and done ability, you've probably know this by now, the game's been out for like 2 years, so use this wisely. For a cantrip we're going to take Bursting Sinew, and for a spell here we're going to take Contagion. Cleric level 11 unlocks our 6th level spell slots, and for this one we're going to take my favourite, which is Planar Ally, to have another big summon. Cleric level 12 unlocks our next and final feat, which will be Alert, so we can boost ourselves up the turn order. And then for a spell here we're going to take Prayer of Healing. We only gain one 6th level spell slot, so there's no point us taking another 6th level one. Let's go over our equipment, and we start with the Browbeaten Circlet for a +1 bonus to spell save DC while threatened. The Flesh Melter Cloaks, whenever we take melee damage, the attacker will take 1 to 4 acid damage. The Space Hunt Boost to give us a use of Dimension Door. UNT Scale Mail, this will allow us to add our Dex modifier to our armor class. We're also getting a +1 bonus to initiative. You might be wondering why we're not taking something like the Armor of Agility, that has a 17 AC. I think you might as well save that for a Dex-based character that can actually add their full Dex modifier to us. I think if we put it on our build here, it's kind of just wasted. We're going to take the Hell Dust Gloves, +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell save DC and our weapon attacks. We'll do an additional 1 to 6 fire damage. The Ring of Twilight, so while obscured, we'll have a +1 bonus to our armor class. The Burnished Ring, so we gain a use of Paralysing Ray. The Amulet of Baal, so on a hit, inflict the bleeding upon targets that have a maximum hit points. The Handmaiden's Mace, this will set our strength to 18 and has poison damage on top of it. And then any shield you want really. Take one that has a higher AC, take one that's got good abilities, just make sure you're using a shield for this. So now we're going over the build, let's just get our planar ally going, and we'll do that here. So we'll summon, for this one we'll do a Cambion. I don't think I've shown the Cambion in a build guide, so there we go, we've got a nice little summon ready. So that being said, let's go find some combat and check this build out. Okay, we are in the combat. You can see we're top of the turn order, which is awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our spiritual weapon ready. So we'll summon this, 2nd level, and we'll just throw this down here. Next up, we're going to use some of our abilities, and we're going to start with the Hunger of Vidal. We'll do this at 3rd level, and we're going to try and place this where we can actually target everyone potentially. Hopefully. I don't want to place it on top. There we go. And now you'll see we have everyone within the hunger. And this is an incredible ability because they'll take damage at the start of their turn, at the end of their turn. It's difficult terrain and it blinds people. And you see the range is pretty significant. And this means if we stand at the edge here, we have advantage, as you can see, blinded, meaning we can land our sneak attacks and do awesome things, like land crits. You'll see the cold damage the enemy took there by starting their turn within the hunger. And then they left the hunger, but obviously have no sight to anyone. And again, the enemy took 11 cold damage. And they've ended their turn within the hunger, so they've taken another 6 acid damage. Which brings us to our Cambion. Now the Cambion is awesome because it can fly. So we can send the Cambion in to here, ready to strike the enemy. Let's just do a regular attack, which also missed somehow. Awesome. Now a spiritual weapon can attack within the Hunger of Vidal like that, land another big crit. And there you go, you see a big 10 damage to the enemy there. And the enemy has just taken, or made their save unfortunately, so they don't get to take the damage unfortunately. Now if we just do a very base attack, you'll see our damage output here. And there you go, you see we got the fire, the regular, and we landed poison. Which means we also can throw up a hex if we wanted to. We would lose concentration on the hunger, so bear that in mind. That is the one downside with clerics, a lot of concentration based spells. You see the enemy taking 3 damage there for being in the hunger. And another 3 damage there. And once again, another 4 acid damage, so even though we haven't attacked them, they've already lost almost 30 hit points. That's what makes the Hunger of Vidal so key, is you can stand on the edge, keep enemies within it, and still chip away at them. Now, let's send our Cambion up here. We'll come here, and once again, let's try our Fiendish Charm. And unfortunately they made their save. And we can keep the enemies at range by landing damage while they're within the hunger. You see there another big 6 damage. Now let's break concentration on this and we'll throw up darkness. And we'll do this on ourselves. And here we go. Now everyone within is blinded apart from us. Which means we now have trending twilight. So if I come to our character and we examine, if we go here, you'll see we have +1 bonus to our armor class now. You'll see the enemy's taking acid damage for attacking us in melee range. And that brings us back to our character. So if we come back down here, the Cambion is awesome because it also has ranged capabilities such as Rays of Fire. And there you go. Our spiritual weapon can come in here, try and take out the enemy with a big 10 damage.
No better moment.
And of course we can do our action, and we get to add necrotic now because we are obscured. So it's a really awesome way of just keeping our damage up as a melee combatant. And of course, we can still get those heals in because we are a cleric. And one awesome thing about us is in the darkness we still have perfect vision, meaning we can throw out things like a guiding bolt as long as we can see the enemy. So for example, we can throw it on the barbarian here and kill them off. But it's not just darkness we have other abilities. So let's throw out when I can see it. In fact, we're going to come up here first. So one of the other abilities we have that we picked up is Destructive Wave. We can do this as Necrotic or Radiant. So let's do Radiant, and you'll see it is a pretty hefty attack. Huge damage, has Necrotic and Thunder on it, and it can really wipe enemies out. And you'll see there was no friendly fire. And of course now the enemy is down, we can send in our Cambion, who somehow missed again. And then we'll run in with our Mace as well and hopefully finish them off. And we know we can add our Wisdom modifier to our Toll the Dead, so let's hit this here. And a massive 26 damage. But that's okay, because once again we can just float up with another Toll the Dead cantrip, which should be one of your key damage dealers, honestly. So that is the Shadow Domain Cleric. It is awesome for just hiding in the shadows, having extra damage, having extra AC, as well as huge damage on your cantrips. And Thunder, or what is it, Destructive Wave is a huge ability. So really hope you've enjoyed this build. If you have, please check the modder and drop the video a like. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. I've got more guides to Baldur's Gate, to Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers, Dragon Age, Path of Exile 2, Elden Ring, Expedition 33, Oblivion, all the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.